New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring. New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Live from a secure concrete bunker somewhere in Ohio, New Thought Media Network presents Pastor Michael Mangus with Friday's Fireside Chat, spiritual conversation for today. Here he is from the secret radio room, surrounded by thousands of watts, Pastor Michael Mangus.
Well, hello there. Good evening to every one of you across the United States and also around the world. It is time once again for another fun-filled, thrill-packed, and yes, guaranteed, always exciting and entertaining Fireside Chat here on your New Thought Media Network. I am the Reverend Michael Mangus, and I am broadcasting from the extra super secure concrete bunker that had work done on it today. We are installing a brand new antenna, like from Hogan's Heroes, that came out of the ground. We may need it in the future, but well, hi there. Good evening to every one of you. Yes, we do have a wonderful show for you this evening. And again, please feel free to interact with us by posting your comments on either Facebook or YouTube. And again, all my shy people out there, I know you're out there and saying, I don't want to put something on. I don't want to put something in the comments. Well, you can go ahead and send me an email. PastorMichaelMangus@gmail.com. PastorMichaelMangus@gmail.com. Well, the purpose of our Fireside Chat each and every week here on your positively inspiring New Thought Media Network is to talk about contemporary issues from a New Thought perspective. And as I keep saying, I want us all to have a new thought about what is going on in the world today. And again, you don't have to agree with me. That's okay. But I want you to just think about, how can I, if all that there is one, how can I be a part of a world that works for all? What is mine to do in this process? Well, all the way from the great state of Tennessee,
Oh, God.
we have this evening guest commentator Lily the Wonder Dog.
Are you hearing this? Are you believing this?
Oh, and also with Reverend Jeff Radcliff, who's
I'm not believing it.
usual
I'm not
commentator.
believing it either.
Are you going to let Lily talk this evening?
Well, I actually manipulate her like a puppet, but I can't get my hand up her butt.
Reverend Jeff. Well,
Hey.
I never.
You have something to answer for, Bucko, so don't mess with me. You're
What-
on my
what-
list.
What did I do now?
What did you do now? Oh, last week. Okay, here it is. Picture this.
Okay.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
I had a terrible attack of gallstones. which is when I found out that you can have your gallbladder removed and still have gallstones. It's
Wow.
it comes from the liver, but that's an entirely different thing. At any rate, there I am, knocking on heaven's door.
Yeah.
I drag myself to my phone so I can at least catch Fireside Chat
Right.
on Friday, and I was commenting. And here's Reverend Mikey, him in his little bunker, and that's uh, and you said the most offensive thing that I have ever heard in my entire life. You said this directly to Reverend Robert, and I hope he punishes you for this because
Okay.
I'm going to file charges.
Okay.
You said, and I quote, "Well, he's commenting, so he must not be as sick as he thinks he is." I clutched pearls I didn't even own.
Hold it. I will apologize
Too late.
for that
It's too
comment
late.
here
Tell
on our
Dan.
worldwide network. Yes, I messed up. I apologize.
You are so full of crap. You know that? But yeah, you actually said that. And I was like, oh, I can't wait till next week because I'm going to call his.
I'm going to call him out on that.
Absolutely. Lily was so livid. That's why she's not even looking at you. She can't.
Lily, can you forgive me, please? I bet you if I brought you doggy treats, you would forget all about it.
You know what? She almost forgot about me as well. My buddy Clark picked me up from the hospital, drove me home. Lily's staying with him and his wife Kelly. They're lovely people. Lily adores him. She adores him. She's not real fond of their dog, Phoebe, but he comes bringing Lily outside, and he opens up the car door, and she looks in, and she sees me. And does she get all excited and jump up and come running over to lick me? No. What she does is she waits, sits in his seat behind the wheel of the car, and doesn't come near me. He's trying to get in, and he has to pick her up and hold her until she finally decides, oh, well, Jeff's back. I might as well go over and say hi. So she's on my list too. You want to get down, baby?
Well, I'll tell you what, Jeff, after this week, I'm on everyone's list.
Why? What'd you do?
Well, I'll tell you more about it as we get into.
Let me adjust myself a little bit. Okay.
The news this evening, in which we're calling the Send In the Clowns edition of the Fireside Chat here on Positively Inspiring New Thought Media Network.
That does not include me, though.
No,
Sorry.
it does not. But oh gosh, yeah. Do we have to do the news?
No, let's just move on. Let's just. Hey, Spirit leads.
Go ahead.
Right? Spirit leads. We will follow Spirit's guidance.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
we all know what the news is.
Since I planned, well, no, I think we have a few things to comment about this evening.
Okay, then. I'll follow your lead. You are God in expression, so go right ahead.
Okay, well, in the news this evening on the Send In the Clowns edition of the Fireside Chat, the president-elect, Donald Trump, has chosen vaccine skeptic and conspiracy theorist Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as his Secretary of Health and Human Services, the latest in a series of controversial cabinet picks. Analysts say that Trump's decision to put RFK Jr. in charge of the health of 350 million Americans, despite his stances on vaccines that contradict the science-based research of most medical experts, is likely to ignite a new debate about the real-world implications of a second Trump term. No. If, for instance, Kennedy's advice led to a lowering of vaccines in the U.S. population, a significant number of lives could be at risk. With the Republicans taking control of the Senate and also the House, many of President-elect Donald Trump's cabinet nominees are likely to face an easy path to confirmation, even some who may be controversial. Reverend Jeff Radcliff, your comments so far.
I'm not feeling very ministerial today, okay? And I know a lot of the
hold it, stop. Do I have to get the 7-second delay out?
No, but I'm going to be nasty. I'm going to be nasty anyway. And
Okay.
a lot of folks who watch Friday Fireside Chat know me from Facebook. And
Right.
So if you have problems with what I'm about to say, please laugh because I think it's funny. Okay.
Okay. Good.
It's
yeah. The views. Stop. The views and opinions expressed are those of Reverend Jeff Radcliff and not those of New Thought Media Network, the Reverend Dr. Robert Brzezinski, who may be watching this evening, or anyone else living or dead. Take what you like and leave the rest. Go ahead, Reverend Jeff Radcliff.
Living or dead. I like that.
Right.
I'm not sure what is going on with Trump and the reason behind some of the picks that he's doing. This one especially puzzles me. RFK Jr. We got to throw the Jr. in there because his dad was awesome. His uncle was awesome. The rest of the family have decided that maybe we need to keep our distance from this guy. RFK Jr., this is the guy who had the worm inside his head, eating his brain, and the worm died.
Wow.
The worm died of hunger, of malnutrition. That's the only thing I can think, because who else comes up with some of the crazy off-the-wall stuff than somebody who starved a worm to death in their head? Which makes me wonder, do we need to give that testing procedure that found this dead little worm inside his head?
Right.
Do we need to do this to some of the other people that are being touted as possible cabinet members and whatnot? Do we need to do this to the president-elect? I mean, this gets nuttier every day.
Oh, no. This gets better. Okay.
It doesn't get any better than this. This is the top of it. This was the cherry on the sundae.
I think we have a couple more that are maybe not as scary, but close.
Yeah, but still, this guy is the top of it. The top of the heap, so to speak.
Well, we talked about her last week. Susie Wiles will be the brand new the chief of staff of the Trump White House. Wiles, who's an experienced Florida-based political operative, will be the first woman in U.S. history to fill the role. Now, next on the chart this evening, Secretary of State Marco Rubio.
I saw the greatest meme about him earlier today.
What was that?
Oh God, give me a second. You asked me too quick. It was Marco side by side with JFK Jr.
Right.
And the caption under it was Marco Polio. The look on your face is priceless. But I saw that and I'm like, oh, I can't come up with stuff that good.
So Trump intends to nominate Senator Marco Rubio of Florida to be the Secretary of State. The selection marked some difference from when Trump and the Florida senator were rivals in the 2016 Republican primaries. Rubio, who is a member of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee and the top Republican on the Senate Intelligence Committee, is a China hawk, which means he doesn't like China, with extensive foreign policy experience. Now, next is the one that I spit my coffee out on.
Now, hold on just a second.
Okay, go ahead.
It is no secret that Marco Rubio is not a big fan of Mitch McConnell, solely for the fact that Mitch McConnell's wife is Chinese.
Wow.
So
they're saying that what I've heard in the news is that the first deportations are going to be of individuals who are here illegally, supposedly, from China. So that's going to be the first round.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting about this whole deportation thing is that I've also heard that he wants to go after folks who are here legitimately and legally. I know that he's becoming very disenchanted all of a sudden with Elon Musk, simply because Elon is kind of elevating himself as to be co-president, and Trump has been telling insiders that he wishes he'd go away, that he's really getting tired of Elon being around all the time. So I'm wondering if Elon and dare I say it, the first lady to be Melania, also an immigrant, supposedly here legally, wouldn't it be interesting if
they're not going anywhere.
That's true. They're probably not. But if anybody asks, I'd be kind of surprised to hear him say, "Oh, they're going to stay here," because I would be thinking that they would be right at the top of the list to have a net thrown over them and dragged out.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a turbulence warning. Please fasten your seatbelts for our next nominee for Attorney General, Matt Gaetz. Trump says that he will nominate Matt Gaetz of Florida, one of his fiercest defenders, to serve as his attorney general. Gaetz has faced several investigations into his conduct, and a number, is that more than like 2 or 3? Republican senators expressed reservations about support for his nomination. Trump said in a statement, Matt will end weaponized government, protect our borders, dismantle criminal organizations, and restore Americans' badly shaken faith and confidence in the Justice Department. Now, didn't the Mike Johnson, isn't it? He's the head of the Speaker of the House.
Well, if that's what you want to call him.
Okay, yeah. Well, the majority speaker, Mike Johnson, said today that he is telling the House Ethics Committee not to release the report about Matt Gaetz. It says the House Ethics Committee revealed in June that it was investigating Gaetz on allegations including sexual misconduct, drug use, and obstruction. There was also something about him having sex with a 17-year-old too. Gaetz has denied all wrongdoing and has maintained his innocence throughout a Justice Department probe that closed last year, and allegations that he violated sexual trafficking laws and obstructed justice. Federal prosecutors in Florida did not file charges against him in that is why we are calling it the Send in a Clowns edition of the Fireside Chat. This doesn't surprise me, though, of these crazy individuals that are being appointed to these positions that are not qualified. And that, again, it really goes back to what Trump said, which was that he is going to use his second term to get even with everyone who he thinks is his enemy. Your thoughts, Reverend Jeff Radcliff?
Don't interrupt me. I'm praying right now. I've already said enough that could get me sent to HE double hockey sticks. And I'm just saying, Lord, help me keep my mouth shut on this one.
Well, another
Because
one.
Go ahead. This man is so tainted that it literally boggles the mind that anybody would think that he was qualified to be in the cabinet at all, let alone in the position that they're touting him for. And to have the Speaker of the House defending him by saying, oh, well, let's not release any of the information that we've gathered about him. We don't want the American people to know just how rotten and nasty and disgusting this gentleman is. I am finding it very difficult. And we've been having a little bit of fun with this. But I always try to find the spiritual side of this.
Yes.
I'm coming up empty with this one. I'm literally coming up empty over somebody who is credibly accused of sex trafficking, minors, no less. But then on the other hand, considering what the president-elect has been accused of, credibly, I might add,
right,
it kind of makes sense. Seeing that they also hung out with somebody who was credibly accused, who did wind up in jail and eventually in the graveyard. So I'm trying to take the high road with this one. I'm trying to take the spiritual road. I'm not finding it, and I'm not finding it.
Yeah, and that's okay. I think a lot of people are really struggling with the news. Well, hold on. I got two more. I got two more that I wanted to talk about.
Oh, help me, Mr. Jesus, help me.
Help.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it through this.
Help him, Jesus.
Oh, Lord. Here we go. Here we go.
Tom Holman, who is no stranger to the those who saw him in show number 1 from 2016 to 2020. Trump announced that Tom Holman will serve as the border czar in his incoming administration. Holman was the acting director of the U.S. Immigrations and Customs Enforcement during the first Trump administration. So in addition to overseeing the southern and northern borders and the maritime and also aviation security, Trump said that Holman will be in charge of all deportation of illegal aliens back to their country of origin, a major theme of Trump's campaign. Tom Holman's role does not require Senate confirmation. We're going to be hearing about this in the first 6 months, is that people are going to be rounded up around the country that you think that the last time that they didn't let Muslims in, oh, you wait. It's really, again, and that's why we're saying is that elections have consequences here. Do I believe we're going to be okay? Yeah, and that I think that, again, that what it's calling for all of us to do is to let our light shine and to use our voice and our prayer work to counter this darkness that is coming over our great land of ours. Your comments quickly, Reverend Jeff, before we get to our last
Quickly,
contestant this evening.
have we met? I don't do anything quickly. My grandfather is rolling over in his grave right now. My grandfather served in Patton's with Patton in Europe. To know that all the hard work that they did to fight the Third Reich and all the things that it stood for, it's just gone up in smoke, because everything that we're seeing with all of these people and what they stand for is a return to that that time period. And instead of fighting and working against that evil, we're seeing people embrace it wholeheartedly. And yeah, when I worked social work with the Veterans Administration.
Yes.
I heard such wonderful stories and such awesome acts of people who didn't expect to be thrust into a limelight and be hailed as heroes. They just said, we're doing what we needed to do to keep our country safe.
Yes.
I can't imagine what they're thinking right now. I cannot imagine.
Okay, so now you don't have anything in your mouth right now as far as liquid beverages, correct?
No.
Because the next one,
it's that woman, isn't it?
hugging President Trump, is Tulsi Gabbard. Trump announced that he has selected former Democratic Representative Tulsi Gabbard, who was elected as the first Hindu into the House of Representatives, to serve as his Director of National Intelligence. For over 2 decades, Tulsi has fought for our country and the freedoms of all Americans, Trump said in a statement. Gabbard served in the Army National Guard and represented Hawaii in the House from 2013 to 2021 before becoming an independent in 2022. In a statement, Trump says she is now a proud Republican. Gabbard ran for president in the Democratic primaries in 2020. Gabbard does not have experience in the field of intelligence and opposes the U.S. intervention in the war in the Ukraine. And some in the intelligence community believes that Tulsi Gabbard is a Russian operative.
I find that easier to believe than the fact that you just called her a Muslim. Because I'm not.
I'm sorry. Didn't I thought it was a Hindu.
Oh, Hindu. I'm not finding that either. All I'm finding is that she's Samoan.
Okay.
So, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with that particular.
So this was my favorite meme from last week. Okay.
Oh, maybe she is Hindu. Okay.
So this is my favorite meme from last week.
Uh-oh.
This year's cast of The Apprentice is really disappointing. Yep. And that's the reason why, and we'll get into it in a couple more stories, that's the reason why that community is going to be so important here during the next 4 years, is that being with people that love you, that support you, people that are tired of the gaslighting also that's happening. So it's going to be very important, again, to be engaged and not be overwhelmed. And I know that that's going to be a task here in the next 4 years. But I think that this is, you have two choices when you're in a fire: to let it purify you or to let it burn you. And so I was reminded by a friend today who saw some of my posts on Facebook. She said, "Now, Michael, I've seen you stand in love in some of the most difficult situations. And I encourage you to do the same when you're on Facebook." Go ahead, Jeff.
It's very easy to lose sight of the fact of who we are when we are looking at these folks, because we're doing what that something we talked about a couple of weeks ago, seeing people as other and putting them outside of our heart space because they're not like us.
Right.
And
absolutely.
It disturbs me in my spirit that I'm doing that as well. But I recognize that I'm doing it, and I can repent. I can turn from that and start over again. Right. We have that ability. We are this world is like a spiritual Montessori school. We get as many do-overs as we need. And Lord knows I have been turning away from a lot the past several days.
Well, and some people have been taking, I know a friend of mine has been, she has taken kind of a fast from Facebook, from the news, because it was driving her crazy. It was disturbing her peace. And so what I'm going to share with you here, and especially in the next story, is take care of yourself. Honor your feelings wherever that they're at. There's no good or bad. Please do not do spiritual Band-Aid over them, but to go ahead and to feel that and ask yourself, what does that remind you of? Does that remind you of something from the past? So you may have to go to a therapist or a practitioner or a minister to get a little more clarity about that. But to use this time to get clear for yourself. That's, again, you can either let the fire burn you or you can let it purify you. So, but go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah, and if I can jump in, I saw a very well-known and respected minister that I love dearly. We've been friends for years. Say that she was going through the stages of grief.
Right.
And that's okay. It's okay. This did not turn out the way a lot of people thought it should have turned out, not a way that they ever figured that it would. And so I understand, because I'm feeling it too.
Yes.
I'm feeling it too. There is no timeline on grief. It takes as long as it takes.
Right.
Some of people are able to get past things enough to mobilize. Some people right now still need to nurture themselves. That's okay. Wherever you find yourself in the process, it's okay. Be gentle with yourself. You cannot help other people if you can't help yourself first. So yes, self-care is job one right now for you. For anybody who's listening, or watching, it's job one. You need to take care of yourself first. Now, those of us who are a little more pissed off and angry and are ready to roll on this thing, I can still feel my grief and still feel my anger and mobilize myself to do things.
Yes.
And I plan to do that. As soon as folks are ready, join in the efforts. Whatever it is that makes you feel comfortable, whatever it is that you think that you can do to help our country and our world. Because I have heard from people all over the country. I've heard from people from England, from South Africa, from the Philippines, who are what happens here affects the entire world.
Absolutely.
It affects the entire world. They don't know what to do with themselves.
Oh, well,
the only thing that I know,
neither do we here. And it's interesting that I finally blocked this guy, that he was saying, well, the Democrats should understand that half of the country is really hurting, and that, well, half of the country is hurting because that we're seeing the government, who we like to be and have a steady hand, we're seeing it run by our drunken, crazy uncle. And that the craziness that is going on especially with these nominees, is just the very beginning. So that's why I'm saying again, and you're saying, and all of us here at the New Thought Media Network are saying, is that to know that, no, you're not crazy.
No.
Take care of yourself.
Yes.
And that we are here to help and support you. Well, Jeff, why don't I do a quick break and then we'll be right back?
Okay. Sounds
That's
good.
the plan.
Just make it quick.
Okay. Well, hi there. It's the Friday evening fireside chat here on your New Thought Media Network. Just to let you know that this Sunday, we'll have a very special service at Summit Center for Spiritual Living. If you'd like more information, go to summitcsl.org. There you will get the login information. Please join us on Zoom. It's a great time. Again, we do have a balance of the 3 M's, and that's music, meditation, and message. And this Sunday, it's still to be announced. We don't know as of yet who our guest speaker is. Well, we'll let you know. So it's a surprise Sunday. You can just log in and be surprised. But come see us, summitcsl.org. All right, we will take a quick break and then we will be right back. This is a Friday evening fireside chat here on your New Thought Media Network.
Please help us say thank you to our organizational sponsors, including the Hefferland Foundation, Affiliated New Thought Network, International New Thought Alliance, Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown, New Thought Philadelphia, Planned Happiness Institute, Summit Center for Spiritual Living, One Heart Retreats, Center for Spiritual Living on the Lake, Unity Kitchener, Unity Spiritual Center Ottawa, Om Center for Spiritual Living, Satya Center, Begin Within Ministries, Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey, Unity of Savannah, and the Center for Spiritual Living Seattle, as well as all of our individual donors. Thank you for being part of the New Thought Media Network. Please like, share, and subscribe. New Thought Media Network, positively inspiring.
The views and opinions expressed by Pastor Michael Mangus are generally right. However, they are his own and do not reflect the views and opinions of New Thought Media Network, Centers for Spiritual Living, or any other person living or dead. As they say in the 12-Step Recovery Program, take what you like and leave the rest. Here again is Pastor Michael.
Why are you putting me on the screen by myself?
The better looking of the two.
Well, there is that, but but it's freaky. It's almost like you're expecting me to host this daggone thing.
Well, you do. I'm just here for filler.
All right then. Okay. I like being the boss.
Yeah, well, hi there. This is the Friday evening fireside chat with Reverend Michael and also Reverend Jeff. Okay. So this week, I got into a little bit of trouble with my family.
Uh-oh.
I'll go ahead and explain and then tell you what happened this week. So Yale psychiatrist urges MSNBC viewers to shun Trump voting family members over the holiday. A Yale-affiliated psychiatrist encouraged LGBTQ plus people whose family members voted for Donald Trump to cut ties and shun their relatives over the upcoming holidays, as fallout from the election reached hysteria on MSNBC. That's the writer's viewpoint. The Yale University child psychiatrist fellow, Dr. Amanda Calhoun, dug into the issue of the post-election crisis in the LGBTQ community with MSNBC's Joy Reid on a Friday evening. Calhoun said that there is a societal push that if someone in your family, that they are entitled to your time. And I think that the answer is absolutely not. So if you're going through a situation, Dr. Calhoun said, where you have family members or you have close friends who you know have voted in the ways that are against you, that are against your livelihood, that it is completely fine to not be around those people and to tell them why. And Dr. Calhoun said, to say I have a problem with the way that you have voted because it went against my very livelihood and I'm not going to be around you this holiday, I need to take some space for me. I think it's easier said than done.
Mm-hmm.
There is within all of us that unwritten rule that says that you should go home for the holidays. And I remember when I was really active in 12-step groups, we would come to this time of year, and I would suggest at meetings, if your family isn't supportive of you, don't go home. Oh, you should have heard the backlash. So what I did this week, I'm confessing to Reverend Jeff here. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. It's been a zillion years since my last confession. So this week, I go ahead and I put up on Facebook a post that said that not everyone made it through his first term. And then I put up, I said, including my mother, who died of COVID in 2020. Oh, did I get the backlash from the sister and also one of the brothers. And again, that I went ahead and said that no, Trump may be not directly responsible, but his leadership during that time, there could have been a lot more lives saved. So I went ahead and I said that, and my sister says, well, I'd call BS in that. So now I legitimately have a wedding rehearsal to go to during our family gathering on the 29th. So I politely went ahead and excused myself. And I don't know if I still was able to go. I don't know if I'd go. Your comments, Reverend Jeff Radcliff.
That's a tough one. And I think a lot of it comes down to that level of fortitude within yourself. And you can apply this to just about any situation. I've had people tell me, they've said, you grew up and for a long time during your formative years, you were part of the Pentecostal church. How can you be so accepting of them now, considering the fact that you are also part of the LGBTQ community and the way that they have treated you and treated others like you? It boils down to basically recognizing that these are not other, that they are also expressions of divinity. They are, for lack of another term, they are also children of God. I've had to struggle with it sometimes, but I have made my peace with that. That is why I'm confident that right now I'm trashing the incoming administration. I'm making fun of them and I'm cussing up one side and down the other about them. But I will eventually get to the place where I can give them that same grace. Other people just don't seem to have it within them. There are some who I think are holding on and wallowing in their pain and misery.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of understandable. People don't want to let loose of something that's familiar to them. They don't want to trade in the devil they know for the angel they don't know. But I will tell you this, if you are able to let go of that devil that is plaguing you right now, you will find that the angel is so much better company. It just boils down to how much are you going to suffer before you finally say, you know what, I'm done. I'm done with suffering. I'm done with the pain. And if it entails you leaving behind a church or your family, then I'm for it all the way. If you can find it within yourself to maintain relationships and still work through your pain, I will be there for you as well. However you
Absolutely.
want to do this, however you want to do this. But the thing of it is, regardless of whether you want to leave your family, leave your church, leave your friends or so-called friends who may have been abusing you over any number of things, it's okay. Take care of yourself first, and however that looks for you, I will be there and support you in that. But if you want to try to maintain those relationships also, there are ways that it can be done. So, but there is no wrong way to do this. So
Absolutely. And
don't ever let anybody tell you that you're wrong, because that's not true.
so our next story deals with how we can deal with all of this, and that is together. It says that queer and trans people have one clear path to a better future, and that's each other. This is commentary from LGBTQ plus news. Um, it's Mira Lazine, who wrote on Thursday. She said that last week, after the campaign against LGBTQ plus rights, Donald Trump won the election, shocking the world after millions expected a landslide victory for Vice President Kamala Harris. The LGBTQ community is terrified, and every queer person that I know has been searching for a way to cope with Trump's victory. And she said that, some people have taken to escapism. They find solace in video games, TV shows, and so on. Others have set their sights on activism and are trying to find ways to get out there and to make the world at least slightly better before Trump takes office. But the one thing that she did say over and over again, she says, but community has saved me from dark times before. And she said that when I was homeless and living in a shady motel, other queer people took me in and gave me a home to recuperate and rebuild my life. When I was at some of my lowest points, isolated from the world with no one else to turn to, queer people helped me find joy in the minutia of life. And when I needed a source of income, queer people took a chance on me and gave me opportunities that I never could have dreamed of. So what she was saying, what Mira was saying, was the whole idea of learning how to be in community is to have a supportive community around you during this time. Do not try to do this alone. Right. And she says that you have millions of siblings ready to stand beside you and fight for your rights alongside everyone else's. No matter where you are, there are other queer people and also cisgender people All you need to do is find them. And I think that is the one thing that myself as an ally can do, is to support individuals during this time. And one of the things that I am doing is that, and I did put it on Facebook and I'll probably put it on other places, is that I am performing marriage ceremonies for same-sex couples that would like to get married before the inauguration. It's going to be interesting to see what happens to same-sex marriage here, especially in the next couple of years. So one of the things that I am doing is and I already have a couple all ready to go here, a couple of days before Christmas in Pittsburgh, is that they are getting their Pennsylvania license, even though that they have a legal license in Canada. So make yourself available to other people. What is yours to do? And then I'll finish up. It says there are endless ways to find community. The most important thing to do is to keep trying, reach out to more people, find new ways to connect with others and build relationships. And that's the way that when things get bad, we can save each other. And she said to every queer person out there, especially all of those who are here this evening, no matter what, you need to stay alive and keep going. You need to stay alive and keep going. It's going to be really hard for a while, and it may seem like every deck of cards is stacked against us, but we can make it through this. If we lose our lives, we lose that chance entirely, and we'll never get another one. We cannot sacrifice what makes life enjoyable and let those who hate us win. We need you to stay alive no matter what it takes. We need you in our community. Your comments, Reverend Jeff Radcliff.
I've got a lot going through my head right now. A couple of scriptures that have come to mind as I listen to you talk. And the first one of which, a lot of people are afraid moving forward because there are no guarantees. We are at a moment in time that we as Americans are not familiar with. Maybe 100 years ago, 150 years ago, we would have fit in better because things were in upheaval then as well. People don't know how to handle this, and that's okay. This is unprecedented territory. We have not been here, but
Right.
we can draw on the energy of those who have been. We have ancestors who lived through horrific things, and
Absolutely.
they are part and parcel of who we are. There is only one. There's only God. God is all there is. That means that everyone is part of. Not, I won't say a part of, because that implies separation.
Yes.
Everyone is God in expression.
Yes.
Including those who have gone on before us. And like I said, we have family members who have gone through some stuff, and we can sit and we can commune with that energy that was who they were, and we can draw on whatever strength that they had.
Absolutely.
I posted this earlier today. I was reading about Arthur Rimbaud, and
Okay.
do you know him? He was
No,
a
I
French
don't.
poet, a French poet from the 1800s, and I tumbled down a few rabbit holes when I was reading about him. He was given a very cruel nickname by his childhood peers. And if you want to read more about him, I suggest you Google him, including his nickname. I found that as part of his Wikipedia page. But I find that as a nation, the United States stands on a precipice. And I began to wonder if we were going to tumble down into such a time as what Rimbaud experienced. He was very cruelly treated by the children in his town. his so-called peers. I wondered if that was what was going to be our lot for the next 4 years. And I decided that maybe it would be better to deny that fear thought in favor of optimism and instead adopt a combination of ideas that I found from a couple of different poets earlier in my life.
You have 2 minutes.
Guillaume Apollinaire and Patrick Overton. Guillaume Apollinaire wrote this. He said, "Come to the edge," he said. They said, "We're afraid." "Come to the edge," he said. They came, he pushed them, and they flew. Now, Patrick Overton said, and he is still alive, by the way. He is contemporary. When you walk to the edge of all the light you have and take that first step into the darkness of the unknown, you must believe that one of two things will happen: that there will be something solid for you to stand upon, or you'll be taught to fly.
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are standing right now at that edge.
Yeah.
Let them push us. Let them push us. We will find that they can push us and we can take a step out. Now, if we find something firm to stand on, that's great. But if some of us have to learn to fly, we can do that. We can do that.
Are you going to let?
Yeah, we're afraid, but we can fly.
Absolutely.
We can find that solid ground.
And
that is why it behooves us to go within, as the Master, as the Christ said, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and then everything else will be added to you. A lot of people think that is along the lines of health and abundance and all that, but it also is courage. It's
right.
The wherewithal to make the best of what you are being given.
Absolutely.
Do that.
And that for everyone to know that you have community here at New Thought Media Network. Absolutely. We are here for you. The reason that we are here is, again, that we see the internet, we see social media as a place to form community. So even if your family doesn't want you for Turkey Day,
we do.
Even if your family doesn't want you for the holidays, you have a family here. We love you.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why we do what we do here. We're going to be here to encourage you, to love you, to take you to that edge and push you off. That's what we're going to do here. Jeff, we are all out of time.
Yeah. Well, let me just say, if you're expecting to find perfection in me or in Reverend Michael or in any of the rest of us, keep looking. You're not going to find it. But the thing of it is, on the outside, we may look like we've got feet of clay, but on the inside, every one of us, including you, everybody who's watching, and everybody who's not, we are perfect, whole, and complete at the core of who we are. For we are divine in nature.
Absolutely. And we
Don't ever forget that.
And yes, and we want to say good evening to Mara. Hi, Mara. Love both of you. Yes, we love you too, and thank you so much.
Thank
Mara,
you,
we're going to get through this here. Not only get through it, but we are going to again come out on the other side a lot better, a lot, knowing ourselves, having an opportunity to heal. And you can either let the fire burn you or you can let it purify you. Jeff, we got to go.
Yeah.
The boss will start yelling at me again.
Well, you know what I think about that. Grow some wings, people. Get those feathers. Learn to fly. It's going to be okay.
Absolutely. Jeff Radcliff, again, thank you so very much. And we're all out of time here, folks. So again, thank you so very much. Again, this is the season of giving coming up. And if you could remember us in your giving, we would really appreciate that. ntmedia.org/donate. Again, a very generous one-time gift, or if you would like to be a monthly partner with us in 2025, again, this kind of encouraging programming, again, exists because of your generous donation. So again, ntmedia.org/donate. On behalf of myself and Reverend Jeff and all the rest of us here at your New Thought Media Network, I am Reverend Michael Mangus. I'm going to wish you a very pleasant good night, and also may you have a great week.
Thanks for joining us this evening for Friday's Fireside Chat with Pastor Michael Mangus. Join us again next week at 8 Eastern, 6 Mountain for more spiritual conversations for today. For more information and replays of past shows, please visit the New Thought Radio and Media Network's Facebook page. Until next week, may God bless you richly and abundantly.